I'm In with the ARCC is brought to you by StoredTech, your technology, our passion. And now here's your host for I'm In with the ARCC, Amanda Blanton.
Welcome to I'm In with the ARCC. Thanks for joining us today. I am your host, Amanda Blanton, Vice President, Marketing and Communications for the Adirondack Regional Chamber of Commerce. And today my guest is Carrie Marie Vaughn. She's the founder of Building Upward and the Unstickify Your Life Coach. Carrie Marie, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks, Amanda. So excited to be here.
I am excited to have you because I get to learn a little more about Carrie Marie and how you got to starting your own business and really helping people. And I know it's a passion of yours. We spoke about it before the show, how, when you're passionate about something, you get really excited and you have too much to say, but it's all good. But this is your platform today.
Yes.
We want to hear all about it. So I always like to start these shows with a story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did you get here? So Carrie Marie, take us back to, what were you doing early on in your life and what inspired you? What drove you to starting your own business to helping others?
Oh my goodness. Well, I have always had a passion for helping people. I think I started young. My mom kind of trained me on this. She's a minister, and always helping out in our congregation and our community is something that I started as a child, just helping others. And then as I got older and I became a mother, I found myself in this place where I was running in a million different directions. Kids have got this and that and everything else. And I started accidentally, not even realizing it, putting myself last.
Okay.
And I found myself completely stressed, overwhelmed, and actually very sick. I got very sick. I had no idea what was going on.
Okay.
And in lots of research and testing and things like that, I figured out what was going on with me. But I also came to the realization of wow, I can't keep putting myself last. I have to start prioritizing myself and my self-care and learning ways to do that with a busy schedule, because we can't put our kids last.
No.
We can't put our families last.
You're their caretaker. Yes,
exactly. But I needed to figure out a way that I could start taking care of myself so that I can better care for my family.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like that, the airline attendant is telling you to put on your own oxygen mask first so that then you can help others.
Yes.
It's like that in real life. We need to start taking care of ourselves first before we can start taking care of other people.
Totally.
And so I realized, okay, I need to start taking care of myself. I started dabbling with all kinds of different things to care for myself, both my health and wellness. Of course, that came first because I found myself sick. But how can I start making it so that my days aren't so crazy stressful, even though I have things going on, I have the priorities, I have the things I have to do, but how do I make it so that it's a little less crazy?
Yes.
A little less overwhelming. And I found that in not only researching different ways that were working well for my life and making it so that things felt a little bit smoother, I felt in flow, I started gaining confidence. Not only did my health come back, but I started gaining confidence. I started to have a little bit more clarity of what I wanted to do and how I could help others in this way. Because I was seeing so many others, especially women. Women are, I feel like society kind of puts so many pressures on us to do everything. We have to be a caretaker. We have to work. We have to take care of the household. We have to run errands. We have all of these things. And of course, we don't actually have to, but we think we do.
Right. I think it might even be naturally ingrained in us, right? We're natural nurturers. We're natural caretakers. It's not even about feeling the need to want to do it. It's you want to do it.
Exactly. And so I was just seeing so many other women in that same state of just running like a hamster on a hamster wheel. You're busy, but you're not really accomplishing anything.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah. And they kind of, a lot of people lose sight of what they even want in life.
Yeah.
Because they're just going through the motions.
Absolutely.
And, it's kind of like, have you ever driven somewhere and when you get there, you're like, wait, I don't even remember the drive here.
Carrie Marie, often. I hate to admit it, but yes, often that happens to me.
It's kind of scary because you're like,
terrifying.
was I even driving cautiously? I don't even know how I got here.
Did I run a red light? I could have. I don't know. Yeah.
And it's like that with our days. Like, how many times do we get to the end of the day and it's like, what just happened?
Yeah.
I don't even know what I did with my day.
Where did the hours go?
Yes.
What did I accomplish? What did I not accomplish?
Yes, exactly. And for those of us with kids, we see it like they're growing up in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
Like, how did they get so old so quick?
Yeah.
the time goes by so fast. And if we think about, okay, what is our actual purpose here in life? What do we want to accomplish as ourselves? And knowing who we are, rather than be the mother, rather than being the caretaker or the head of the household, or the partner in a household, or an employee or a business owner or whatever, putting all of these labels. But who do we want to be ourselves, and what do we want to accomplish in life? A lot of times we don't stop to think about that, and we definitely don't stop to take care of ourselves.
Correct. Because how do you even, this is the question that we're all asking ourselves, how do you even find the time to stop and think about it?
Yes. So out of that, that's where my business formed. It was just out of seeing that need.
Absolutely.
Seeing the need that women especially, but anybody. And I started actually expanding this out to groups of people, like businesses and business owners, because there is such a need to just stop for a moment and take an account of what's going on and where you actually want to go, what you actually want to accomplish, and where you're stuck. And that's where then my Unstickify Your Life brand kind of came out of, is because so many people feel stuck.
Absolutely.
It's like, you're going through the things, but you're still stuck. There's still a part of you that is stuck, or businesses are stuck, individuals are stuck. So I have all kinds of things that I have found to get myself unstuck and help others get unstuck.
Absolutely. So you've built this business off of your personal experience, but also, noticing other people going through the same thing. I'm sure there are a lot of listeners right now are like, oh my gosh, this is me. And you may even feel alone in it, correct? I mean,
yeah, exactly. We're going through the day, but we don't realize, not everybody, but so many other people are experiencing the exact same thing.
Absolutely.
And that there is actually help. There's something that can be done, even though you don't think that there's time for it. There actually is. And it's good to prioritize that, because sometimes we could run ourselves ragged, and literally it could be a matter of life and death. That sounds awful, and that sounds like morbid, but if we run ourselves too thin, we could get very ill.
Absolutely.
And it could take our lives.
Yeah.
Or we're just not living a quality of life that we want to live.
Right. Because again, you have this vision of how your life you think it should be, and sometimes you don't even have time to even think about that piece, right?
Exactly. Exactly. I've met with somebody before that literally had no goals. She didn't know what she wanted in life at all. She's like, I know what I don't want.
Right.
But she's like, I don't even know what I do want at this point.
Yeah.
And think about, like, if you think back to when we were a child, we loved to dream. We loved to play pretend. We had this idea of what the perfect day would look like, what we wanted to be doing in life. And we kind of lose that as we become adults.
Absolutely.
Because there's so many responsibilities that we have that we kind of forget to dream.
Absolutely.
So
it's so true. It's so true. I mean, at one point, all of us thought, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a veterinarian, and then you lose that. You do. And all of a sudden, life hits you hard. But it sounds like you found some ways to help guide people through this journey. It is a journey, right? This isn't a light switch.
Exactly.
You don't have the magic wand that's like, boom, you're fixed. As much as cool as that would be. But that's not realistic.
Exactly. So, but it just helps to kind of break free that little bit.
Yeah.
And once people start getting that little glimpse and that feeling of what it's like to have a little bit more clarity around something, or feel a little bit more free. A lot of my clients say that they feel lighter immediately. They're like,
love that.
I didn't even realize I was holding on something. Like, think about if you're carrying around this big backpack filled with bricks. It's going to be heavy, but if you're used to doing it, it doesn't even mean anything to you anymore, because you're used to just carrying around this backpack of bricks. And then finally somebody's like, here, let me take that off your back. And then you're like, wow. Oh my goodness.
Amazing.
I can do all of these things.
Exactly.
And so it's kind of like that feeling. You don't realize that you're stuck until something is then removed, and then you're like, wow. I've had people have literal physical things where they had been in pain. They didn't even realize what was causing it until we remove these things, because everything is stored at a cellular level. And things that we might have going on, even if it has nothing to do with our physical body, are affecting us physically.
Absolutely. Yeah. And with your, do we call it a program? What do you call Unstickify Your Life? I know it's a brand,
yeah,
but
it's kind of like a whole experience.
It's an experience. I like that. Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
it's a whole experience. And there's different ways that people can experience it because everybody's needs are a little bit different.
Absolutely.
And everybody's budget is a little bit different. And I like to be able to help people in whatever way they're ready to be helped, because people have to be open to being helped too. If you're, it's kind of like, you think about that with any other kind of issue. If somebody has a problem like a gambling addiction or whatever it is, like if they're not ready to be helped, nobody's going to be able to help them. And so it's like that with anything else. Like what I'm doing to help people, if people aren't open to being helped, if they're not interested at all, it's probably not going to help.
Right.
It's like that with really anything in life. So, it's kind of like if you're not really ready to get in shape, you're not going to do anything at the gym.
100%. Like paying your gym membership is not going to get you in shape. You have to go.
Exactly.
So true. It's so true.
And so, I have things from almost immediate, it is pretty much immediate. A 15-minute session of a stuck point scan helps to determine person's how many stuck points they have, first of all, but their number one stuck point, and we release it. Within 15 minutes or less.
That's great.
And so in that 15 minutes, we're able to determine that.
Yeah.
And what's so cool is people leave that one 15-minute session and they're like, wow.
Yeah.
I have had people have so much more clarity over something that they were a little confused about. I had people that had been literally procrastinating on something for years that started taking action immediately.
Doesn't feel good,
Exactly. Exactly. There's certain things that we avoid for a reason, but sometimes they just have to be done. And then they're all of a sudden taking action on this.
Yeah. And there's a lot of value, Carrie Marie, in speaking to someone like you, because, you can complain to your friends and family about certain things, and they will probably join in your misery, and that's fine. You got to release, right? But to bring someone outside in and say, this is what I've got going on, and you have an outside perspective, as well as many years of experience talking to others, and you can be like, okay, let's really think about this, right? And come to a solution in 15 minutes, right?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. The 15-minute is very spot on.
Yeah.
But then I also offer different coaching packages where there's a 2-hour ultimate reset experience where it's kind of like it's a 2-hour session with me, but there's a preliminary piece and then there's an after piece. You're basically given kind of homework, but it's not bad homework. It's good homework.
It's going to help you.
And it's very personalized for the person. And that's where we really, really do deep dives, and we use a cellular alignment technique to really get down at a cellular level to release things that people have been getting stuck on for years. But at all different levels. And that's based on what they tell me. That's based on, what they're experiencing. Whereas the stuck point scan is basically like, I'm just scanning and finding where you're stuck, finding your topmost stuck point. So it doesn't really matter what they tell me or what they don't. They might think they're stuck in one area, and then they actually end up being stuck in a different area.
Yep. That makes sense.
And so that's pretty powerful. But then I also offer coaching. It's usually about an hour to an hour and a half session. And it's either biweekly or once a month. And that is kind of a little bit of a journey, like we were mentioning, where we take, all right, where is your actual big goal that you're working on right now? And we take little baby steps along the way to figure out what's holding you back on taking the steps that need to be taken to reach that goal so that you can reach it so much faster. So even if ideally, let's just say somebody wants to have a certain amount of income or wants to be a certain health, you know what I mean? Maybe they want to be in a bodybuilding contest or something like that. And they have to be a certain way. They have to have, all of these things. If they know this big goal, and they have basic ideas of what it's going to take to get there. If it would normally take maybe years, we can condense that down because we can just release what's being stuck along the way, and that procrastination piece and all of the things inside of our body that is resisting because we have these things that we naturally resist or that we're pushing away things that are actually good and not on purpose, but it's at a cellular level based on past traumas that we've had or past experiences or things that we've heard that we've believed and has been ingrained in us. So we're able to release those things. So that's more of the coaching sessions is more of a give and take. It's like I ask questions and then we're able to get down to what it is, what you're believing to be.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so anyway, that is, those are some of the things. But then I also offer a little bit more hands off where it's self-guided, where I have the Unstickify Your Life Academy.
Okay.
There's all kinds of tools and resources in there. There are cellular alignment sessions that people can go through on their own.
Okay.
There are resources that they can use on a regular basis, like print-offs, where there's checklists for different things based on the categories. It's all organized and categorized as a course that people can go through on their own.
That's great.
And then they can join in once a month on the group sessions together.
Okay. So there's a lot of options.
Oh, yes.
Which we love on this show because, nobody wants to feel kind of forced into doing it a certain way if that's not their comfortability, right? And I realize that a part of your process is probably getting people out of their comfort zone, but still, you don't want them running away screaming either.
Exactly, exactly. And some of the things pair very nicely together. Yeah. So, for instance, sometimes people are one-on-one coaching clients with me, but then they also are in the academy.
Nice.
Because that way they can go through things in between our calls, or I might have a specific section in there that I'm like, this is what you need right now.
Sure.
Based on our discussions and what we're going through. Yeah. This is what you need to be looking through. So
very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get even deeper into this, we do have to take a quick break.
Okay.
So we'll be right back on I'm In with the ARCC.
Hi, my name is David Cohen. As a project engineer at StoreTech, I focus on upgrading and improving technology that businesses rely on to be efficient and eliminate boundaries to productivity. What's different about StoreTech is the dedication to their customers and down-to-earth approach to IT. Our only agenda is to make life easier for you and your employees and allow you to focus on what's important. It's a true pleasure to be a part of StoreTech. I leave work with a real sense of pride knowing I'm part of such a wonderful team of enthusiastic people with unmatched knowledge and experience. Call us today at 518-793-1111 and see how our team can elevate your business to the next level.
And now, back to I'm In with the ARCC. Here's your host, Amanda Blanton.
And we're back. Thanks again for tuning in to I'm In with the ARCC, sponsored by StoreTech, your technology, our passion. And I'm here with the lovely Carrie Marie Vaughn, founder of Building Upward and the Unstickify Your Life Coach. Thanks again for sharing your story. It's so fascinating to me to hear how people get where they are today. And your process seems very easy and painless, right? You've got a little bit of something for everyone. I love the academy idea too, because I'm hearing there's like group sessions in there. So a lot of people can benefit from, hearing other people's stories, other people's challenges, and you never know what you're going to learn from others, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And also it helps to realize you're not in this alone.
Yes.
That you're not the only one that's going through these things. Sometimes when you hear somebody else share their story, you're like, what?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that they're going through the same thing I am.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Because we live in the day and age of social media and people post what they want people to see.
The perfection.
But you don't know what's going on at home, what people are dealing with, what people are dealing with in their own minds.
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing that I hear from people a lot of, just the self-sabotage. We're so quick to be like, oh, I'm so dumb, or I can't believe I didn't do that.
Or I could never do that.
I never do it right, or I'm ugly, I'm stupid, I'm fat. We put ourselves down so much.
So much, yeah.
And to hear that other people are also doing this too, we always think that we're the only ones going through something. We think that we're on this island and going through something, but being part of these group sessions really is helpful in people realizing, hey, I'm not the only one that has these thoughts or that does these things or that's experiencing this.
Sure.
And we can go through this journey together and be on this journey together for healing and getting unstuck and being on this journey of clarity and feeling. I love the word like aligned and in flow, because that's really what people feel after these sessions.
Absolutely.
Is just feeling in flow. They're like, okay, now I actually know what I'm doing. Now I feel good about what I'm doing. Now I have a little bit more energy.
Yeah.
And I don't have, sometimes people explain it to me of feeling almost like they're going through life with this haze, like it's cloudy almost.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that's lifted.
Yes.
And they're like, oh wow.
And the vision is clear.
Yes. So like now I get it. And you can understand different situations a little bit better, or you're reacting to things a little bit differently than you used to, or thinking about things, sometimes when challenging things happen to us, it's hard. It's very hard. But when you're able to look at it through the lens of, this is a learning experience and I'm supposed to get something out of this. I'm supposed to learn something out of this experience. Then it all of a sudden is not such an awful thing that is challenging. It's like, okay, what can I benefit from this situation? And even though we can't officially go back and change the past, things that happened, but if you look at them from a different lens, you're almost changing the past because you're changing how you are seeing this situation that happened.
And what you're taking from it.
Exactly. Because at the time it might have felt like the worst thing ever. But instead, it's like, okay, how did you grow from that situation?
Absolutely.
And it's pretty powerful.
It is like turning a challenge into an opportunity, right? It's all about the mindset. But you have to get unstuck, right?
Yep.
To see it that way. Because it is in the moment sometimes to be faced with a challenge. To, like, how do I turn this around, right? And that's the whole getting unstuck thing. Yeah. That's wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. Because sometimes we do get stuck on these little things.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever had that one thing that you just, either somebody else kept nagging you about, like for days or weeks or months or years, just bringing up this one thing and you're just like, okay, enough. Or maybe you did that either to yourself or to somebody else, remember that one time you didn't bring out the garbage and this and this happened.
Never live it down.
Yes, exactly. It's kind of like that. We have all these little stuck points that are stuck in us that we just need to get rid of so that then we can just move on and be living a life that is a little bit more happy and clear and in flow.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've helped dozens, if not hundreds of people, which is so wonderful. And we all need this, we all need this. You can't do this alone. It's nearly impossible. So thank you for doing all the work you do. And I think I've got a really clear picture of what you do. It's awesome. I understand you have a couple of books as well that you've published. What can you share with us about those?
So my first book, Mom Mantras, is literally daily affirmations. I wrote it for moms because moms are not only busy, but they have a lot on their minds and they forget to take care of themselves. And so just by saying some powerful affirmations, just one or two a day is really all you need, and have that be your mantra for the day.
Yeah, I love that.
And so I wrote this book so that women, moms, have this. And I say for moms of all kinds because there's pet moms, there's stepmoms, there's people who are motherly that maybe not biologically their mother.
Sure.
So anyway, it gives them that tool that they can use throughout their day. Yeah. And I've even heard from some of my readers that they read it with their kids. Oh. What a powerful thing that is.
Yes, to take that time too.
Yes, to take that time together, but then to give that child that tool, knowing like, hey, I can start my day with an affirmation and feel so good. They can be intentional with their day and live into that mantra, that affirmation. And I'm like, wow, that is so cool.
Yeah, it wasn't your original intention, but it works out. Yeah,
exactly. So that was my first book, and then I came out with another one last year, and this one is a workbook style. It's called Unstickify Your Life. It's a 30-day workbook.
Nice.
And I actually have a mini course that goes along with that too. It's for groups.
Cool.
In that way, we're touching certain things about yourself in the very beginning as people are starting their journey through this 30-day workbook. And then we're touching base again midpoint.
Okay.
But through this journal, there are also assessments in the book.
Great.
Because sometimes it's kind of like we're talking about where our kids grow up before our eyes and we don't even realize it. Yeah. And if it weren't for the markings on the wall of like measuring them along the way, it's like, whoa, how did that even happen? And other people notice it because people who don't see our kids for a year, they see them and they're like, wow, they've grown so much.
Always.
And so sometimes when we're in the everyday, we're like, oh, that really didn't seem to do much of anything. I don't really feel any different today by doing those activities in the book. But when you do the assessments before you start, midway through, and then after you've gone through the full book,
you can see the growth.
You actually start seeing the growth. I mean, it's literally there. I have different assessments where I ask different questions and ask you to rate yourself on how you're feeling about different things. And it's incredible. It's so funny because I had one of my readers that was going through one of my mini course programs along with it. We touched base midway, and she was like, I actually thought they were completely different questions. I didn't realize I was even answering the same questions because I'm a different person.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yes, and it was only halfway through the book.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty powerful.
It is. Absolutely.
Yeah, and so that is by far, I think that is a huge experience in itself. Just the book in itself is an experience. If you can go through the 30 days, and I want readers to know too, if you find a day where it's really hard to answer the questions, it's okay to skip it and go back.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way of this. This is your journey. I want people to go through it and take it the way that they feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah, that
and
makes
it's
sense.
beneficial to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want them to feel stuck. That's the whole point of getting unstuck. And so I tell people just, go through it as you can. If you feel like it's hard to answer some questions, because it is. A lot of the times you don't think about these things.
Right.
I'm asking kind of hard questions of people to really reflect on things in their life.
Self-reflection can be hard for some people.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, think about it. If somebody were to ask you to tell you all about yourself, you'd be like, oh, I'd rather not, know?
Yes.
But like, tell me about all your accomplishments. You're just like,
I get it.
I don't know. I've done some things.
Right. You just kind of freeze. Yeah.
Exactly. So it can be hard, but it's hard for a reason.
Yeah.
We need to go deep sometimes.
Sure.
And that's why it's an experience.
Absolutely.
So
this is wonderful. And Carrie Marie, I hate to say it, but we're like almost out of time. I know. I knew this would happen.
That's okay.
But, I've been to your website. It's beautiful. You've got a lot of resources on there. Great job. And, you've been on podcasts. You do public speaking engagements. You have books. You have all of these wonderful experiences that people can pick and choose from. So tell us, what's your web address and how can we get in contact with you to learn more?
Okay, awesome. So I have a couple different websites that people can go to. My main website is building-upward.com. I know it's a pain having the dash in there, but
it is what it is.
Have to do it. Building-upward.com. And then I also have stuckpointscan.com.
Okay.
That's specifically to get unstuck with the Stuck Point scan. So I send people directly there for that.
Great.
And I'm on social media. People can search me, Carrie Marie Vaughn, the Unstickify Your Life Coach. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok.
You're doing it all.
YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, Building Upward. So if you do that search.
Wonderful. And you were certainly out and about in the community as well. You're involved in a lot of groups and community gatherings. So, there's a chance that one of our listeners might run into you someday too. So.
Absolutely. Yes. I love being out and about in the community. It's so fun. It's great because I've done a lot remotely and virtually. And so it's really, really nice to be back doing things in person in the community and leading small group sessions and things like that. So I love it.
Well, thank you, Carrie Marie, for giving us, a glimpse at this point into what you do. But, it's very powerful, the work that you're doing. You're making a huge impact in our community and beyond, right? Because your clients, if you will, are spreading the word as well. So it's like a ripple effect. So great job.
It is a ripple effect. And that's why it's just so amazing seeing people's transformations and then seeing how that impacts those in their lives.
Absolutely.
It's so cool.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for taking the time to
such a pleasure.
To share with us.
I love chatting with you, Amanda. This has been great.
Thank you. And I hope a ton of people go to your websites and check out your books as well.
Thanks. Yes, they're on Amazon, but there's links on my website to the books as well. So.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thanks again. And that is all the time we have for today on I'm In with the ARCC. Be sure to tune in next week.